Why, hello, my friends. Luke here. I've got 3,000 points of Warriors of Chaos versus. What's this? Luke's Dark Elves? Yeah, buddy, it's Luke's Dark Elves. Even though I'm a new dad and, sleep is a thing of the past and I'm really tired and busy all the time, I've managed to paint some of my Dark Elves. And it's great. I don't have any more free time, but the time that I do have, it's that whole work hard, play hard thing. As soon as my kid's asleep, I'm downstairs in front of the TV, throw cops on, and get to painting some Warhammer. It's pretty great. I actually listen to battle reports, but if I've gotten through them all, yeah, that's when I turn cops on. It's a guilty pleasure. Don't judge me. But look at this. You can see in the picture, I've actually got some paint. Some of these models are actually coming along. It's kind of hard to see because it's bad lighting down here in the basement, but the Cold One Knights there are looking pretty decent. I've got base coats on the Executioners, and you can't quite see everything here, but you'll see them as we go through. It's awesome. I'm really liking painting these guys. They got a sick look when they're all together. Very excited. So, 3,000 points. Now, I'm playing my Warriors of Chaos buddy, guy I play off and on in battle reports. He hasn't played in 8 months either, because he had a kid about 6 months before me, and life's just been super, super busy for him. So, he said, let's play. He wanted 3,000 points because, like me, he doesn't want to make any cuts. We want to take everything that we've got. And I said, sure, let's do it. Now, I have a disclaimer. Some of the pictures in this battle report are not the best. They're a little blurry. It's because half the time I'm holding a screaming baby, but you know what? I had to let the wife out, and she needed to go get a manicure and have some time for herself, but that's not going to stop me from playing Warhammer. Hell no. So, especially since we're both dads, me and my opponent, so I've just got the kid in my arm, and he's squawking and screaming, but still time to play. So we decided just to kind of go pitch battle, but right out of the book. We would generate some terrain and play with it, because it's always fun. Yeah, we got 9 pieces of terrain that really is going to impact the game. So I've taken some time to label it here. First, a Mystery Forest, Ghost Fence on the left, an Elven Waystone for the +1 channeling attempt, a normal building, and right dead center in the middle of the board, an Altar of Cain that gives Frenzy. And of course, the Chaos player put that there because some people just want to watch the world burn. Then we have an Idol of Gork to reroll charge distances, and a Tower of Blood, which will give Frenzy and Hatred. Good God, that is going to be one gory little area of the board there. And finally, a Blessed Bulwark, but we're all forces of destruction here, so nobody really cares. What did Luke bring at 3,000 points? Well, let me tell you, it's not much of an optimized list, I don't think. I don't really know. I'm still trying to read the Dark Elves forums, but this is my second game with them. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. This is not a battle report to watch if you want to know how to play the Dark Elves. This is the other one. If you don't want to emulate me, watch this. So, and I also basically took what I had painted. So, of course, the first model is an Orc and Goblin, because, believe it or not, I cannot find any repeater bolt throwers. They have them, in the stores, and I had one special ordered at my game shop, and it was the freaking old pewter one, the old pewter one. I think it's because they discontinued all their Finecast, and they haven't quite put out that pretty sweet new double bow one in plastic yet. So I don't know. I don't want to pay the prices on eBay, so I'll just wait till they come out in plastic. So anyway, what do I got? I have a group of shades, and I've put them down. This is after deployment, and I've put them right on the line because he didn't leave me 12 inches to play with. Now, I thought about not taking shades versus Warriors of Chaos, because what the hell are they going to do messing around someone's back line? But I had them painted, and I thought, you know what? What I'll do to make them worthwhile, I'll put an assassin in there. So he doesn't know this at this point, but there is an assassin in there. And I'm pretty sure that's fine. I looked in the rules, and there seemed to be nothing that said I couldn't do that. It seemed a little weird to be in skirmishers, but I didn't see anything, so I put him in there. Let me know if I did that wrong. So there's an assassin in there. Assassin has the Black Dragon Egg. So when I eat that, I'm going to be nice strength 6, toughness 6, and a breath weapon. So I've got him right here on the line so that I've scouted up there, and I stopped all of his vanguards. So no Hellstriders running up. That should be nice. So I got a bolt thrower in the building. I've got a group of a 5-pack of warlocks, and I only brought one of them. I only actually have one painted and assembled, but I didn't want to. This is the first game in a long time. I didn't want to run with 2 of them because they're just pretty damn strong. And he didn't even have a demon prince here on his side, so I've got 1 pack of warlocks. I got a big old group of executioners, just 19 of them. That was all I really had points for, and I don't think I gave them any banner or anything. So they're just a block. I know they're not that good. They don't have rerolls anymore, and I don't know. I think it'll be good against Warriors of Chaos. That's why I have them across from the Chaos Knights there. But we'll see. I'm still kind of iffy on them. And I didn't put anything in there to give them Frenzy. although I can cast it from the cauldron, so we'll get there in a second. Second bolt thrower at the lower left. Then, kind of near the center of the board, working our way back, we've got a group of Dark Riders. We've got a group of Cold One Knights, 5 strong. We've got a Cold One Chariot and a Charybdis right there for some Strength 7 attacks. Then I've got 19 Dark Shards with the Flaming Banner, and that's because I know somewhere in the army, I know he runs Nurgle, so even if he doesn't bring regen, he's going to put regen on something, and these guys are to get 1 wound in and drop regen. And they're fun. That's a ton of shots to roll. Then I've got my Witches with the Cauldron and the BSB and a big old horde. I have like 28 or 30 Witches with the Cauldron in there. So the Cauldron is a mount for the BSB. So I got a Hag, she has Witch Brew, and I have my Supreme Sorceress level 4 in there with the Sacrificial Dagger. Now why would you do that? The Witches can just turn on her and kill her. Well, I'll tell you why. Because you can't make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. Here's what I wanted. I wanted to run with Dark Magic, and I wanted to use Power of Darkness. And Power of Darkness is shit if you're not buffing a unit you care about. And I don't have her... I have the infantry model. I don't have her running up with the Dark Riders or the Brolocks or anything. So when I cast Power of Darkness, which is probably not going to get dispelled because sometimes it doesn't even do anything, I want that +1 strength on the Witches. So she's in there. She's got a 4-up ward save. I'm hoping that that will save her from the Witches. I know it's a risk, but I'm going to run with it. I also have the Sacrificial Dagger, which is unbelievably painful, but I don't plan on using it a lot, but for the times that I really need to get that off, I will kill a Witch to do that, because from the way I'm thinking, yes, it's very expensive to kill Witches for power dice, and you can fail and have to do it a couple of times, but those Witches, as long as I have a full 2 ranks, are going to get a shitload of attacks through, and they're going to delete what they hit, especially if I get the charge off and impact hits and all that. So I'm actually thinking that not putting them in Dark Shards, so I lose that +1 strength. I think this might actually be a decent strategy. We'll see. And then I've got the Armor Piercing Banner on those Witches, so that I can try to get through the chaos with, if I get Power Darkness off and Armor Piercing, that's 2 off an armor save, and that's actually kind of scary. So that's my big plan there. On my left flank, I've got a second group of Dark Riders, a third Bolt Thrower, and a Master on a Dark Pegasus with the Cloak of Twilight, because he can run around and charge with Killing Blow and D3 attacks and have his 3-up ward save. That should be pretty fun. What does my Warriors of Chaos player has? He has a Chimera, a group of Dogs, 3 Skull Crushers. He's got a big old block of Nurgle Warriors with his level 4 Wizard in there, rocking the lore of Nurgle. He's got a big brick of Chosen with his Nurgle BSB in there. Now, he does not have a War Shrine, but you normally see that with this player. So I just have to make do with whatever he rolls right off the bat. Then he has 2 Nurgle Chariots, because, yeah, you'll take that all the time. Then he has a Hell Cannon, which, props to him for taking the Hell Cannon. A lot of people don't like that cannon, but, I like it, and it usually holds its points. Then he's got a second pack of Dogs. He's got Slaneshi Knights, believe it or not, because that's great. And Hellstriders. Now, the reason he took Slaneshi Knights, besides being cool, because you don't really worry about them getting hits, you don't need Nurgle, he read up on the Dark Elves, having never played them before, and was like, oh, look at these Warlocks that everyone's taking. Let's be Slanesh so they don't get a 4-up ward save. That's perfectly fine. It's a little cheesy, but hey, the Brolocks need it. And the Hellstriders should be able to get right up on them, and I'm afraid of them for sure. And that's it for his lineup. So here, just a couple of pictures down his line, and then a couple of pictures down mine. You have to forgive me, I was going through them all here. Didn't have a ton of prep time here because, I got a screaming baby. So this is how the game's going. Pitch battle. We roll, or before we roll, we go to Vanguard movement. I get to go Vanguard first, and I take my Brolocks and I run them. So I know he can't come closer to me, so I run my Dark Riders forward, and I move my Brolocks behind that piece of terrain there. And I constantly forget that is a frenzied Tower of Blood. That is going to be a big problem because I'm not going to get charge reactions. But for now, I'm just moving them away from the Hellstriders because I want to just shoot them with stuff and not have anything to do with them there. And I have the movement, I should be able to do that. On the right flank, I move up with my Dark Riders just a bit. I don't want to move up too far, and so he moves his Dogs as far as he can go. We go to Chaos turn 1, and including the last few games I played, every single game in the tournament and this game, I think we're on 10 games maybe where I haven't gone first. I don't know. It's at least 6. Maybe it feels like more. So Chaos goes Chaos goes first, and he rolls right before we get started, and +1 initiative goes on the Chosen. which I actually think was pretty good. I was like, hey, good, it's normally +1 toughness. I can deal with +1 initiative. Spoilers, that's totally going to come back to bite me in the ass. Okay, Chaos turn 1. First off, he declares a charge with his chariot on my Dark Riders, and I go to flee. And I'm like, I might bounce through my own guys, but oh wait, I'm within 6 inches of the stupid Tower of Blood, and I think I'm within 6 inches of the other frenzy thing there, so no charge reaction. So he charges, because I'm frenzied, I can't flee, and he's going to charge me with the second chariot as well. That's just bad on my part. Over here he charges my shades, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get into combat with him right now. I know my plan is to pop the assassin on him and see what I can do, but let's flee right away and then buy some time of shooting at that unit. So I flee and I only go 5, and I'm like, uh-oh, that could be bad. He rolls a basic ogre charge and stops 1 inch behind me. It was like, holy crap, that was really close to blowing all those guys and my assassin. So yeah, maybe I just stick with the plan of having the assassin pop out and not almost accidentally lose these guys. Jesus. Both chariots make it in with ease, and these guys are going to become a nice paste. Everyone else just moves up here, as you can see. Just a picture of the left flank. You can see where over here where this Chimera just lands in front of my master, and he knows I can fly over him, but I got a bolt thrower over there, and that's just where he ends up. Picture of the right flank. And we go to magic. It's 3-3, so I kind of break there in terms of no major power. He fails to cast Rancid Visitations. That's a green arrow on my Dark Riders. That would be the toughness test, so it would keep going. Fails to cast, magic's over. Shooting, the Hell Cannon takes aim and drifts off dead center on the BSB in the Cauldron, but does take out 4 witches. I apologize. He hits 4 witches on the drift and kills 2. And that's about it for shooting. So in close combat, he had a total of 12 impact hits that killed every single elf and their horses altogether. And having to overrun because he's frenzy, one of them makes it into the warlock. The other one stops. It's actually a healthy distance there. When you don't get to add your, I think it was like 9. But with Swift Stride, I guess that's 50-50. Yeah, so that's exactly probably what should have happened. And they're into the warlocks. And this is where I'm thinking, you know what? I'm rusty. I haven't played these Dark Elves, and I haven't played, I guess, an army that really flees or has the opportunity to flee in a while, and this is all me. This is my fault. One, I moved those guys right up, and should have respected the healthy distance that those chariots could go. Now, they came cruising over 12 inches, I think, on the, right off the beginning, but, I mean, come on, like, I should know better than that. And then allowing him to overrun into the warlocks, and I don't have first off, it's an overrun, I don't get a charge reaction, but I wouldn't have got it anyway. I'm standing right next to that frenzied shrine. It's just bad all around. Just bad all around. All right, time to kick some ass. It's Doom Elf time. I'm so angry about my warlocks. I'm not even a Dark Elf, I'm a Doom Elf. So I declare a charge with the knights into the flank of the chariot. He can't flee because he's also frenzied, and I'm going to be frenzied when I go in too, so I'll take that all day, brother. I charge, so I think I forget to mention this. He moved his dogs up. You can see him on the other side of that building and kind of just put them, I think, to block my Charybdis for being able to charge and get into his crushers. But I also have terror, so I probably would have done that just fine. There's generals nearby, I don't know. But I decided to just charge the flank anyway. So I charge. He opts to flee, and he bounces through his guys, doesn't take any panic. I actually think he needed the reroll to not panic. And I just choose to fail because I'll land right in front of him. That's fine. I'll just flee on my turn. No problem there. And I'm really liking it. This is why I wanted the Dark Elf army, people. Exclude the other flank where I'm all frenzied and can't move. I like this whole, I'll just flee from you, and I'll turn around and I'll get in your way, and I'll flee. Like, this is new to me. I really, really like this, and I'm excited to use it. The cold ones slam into the chariot over here, just as expected, nice and easy. I rally my shades, which is good because I don't want to lose the assassin. And I move my executioners up a bit, thinking that this is a nice little flank for them with their killing blow to be on, in case the shades don't do what they need to do. Swifty for my dark shards to shoot at the Chimera, and I forget to measure, believe it or not. I just am stupid. Like, I could have moved forward and shot this turn. And actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't remember. It looks like I could have moved forward and shot, but I just reformed and thought I'll shoot at him now. It's not that big of a deal because I'll have another turn, but I could lose my, I'm likely going to lose my bolt thrower over it. That's just a more sloppy play I need to get used to. Let's see. Where are we? Oh yeah, so then I just slightly adjust the Charybdis and the Cold One Chariot to form a unified line there. I don't know who I'm going to charge or where I'm going, but I can go in together. Master goes up and over the Chimera here just to be in the back lines and in the flanks and to mess with some guys. So we might be going in on those 1-up armor save. I don't know. Maybe. We might go. Who knows? During Magic, it's 6 dice to 4. So the first thing I do is cast Power of Darkness. Goes off on 1 die, no problem. Gives me 2 die back. Like I said, I put them in the Witches. Now the Witches are +1 strength. My second spell, I cast Word of Pain on the Knights. I juice it up because I want to get, the weapon skill, ballistic skill, initiative, and strength. Yes, I want those all lowered for the fight that's coming. And I get it. Miscasting on 3 dice. I had been saving a bunch of my dice, the other few, so I could cast Bubble Blight on the Chariots in the middle, but I miscast on 3 dice. Well, that happens from time to time. I roll the D3 and I do 2 to all the stats, so that he's down 2 everything, which is actually fairly healthy. I take 1 wound on my Supreme Sorceress and end up losing all my dice. So no Bubble Blight this turn. I was trying to surprise him with the fact that I could do that and draw out some of his other dice, but that doesn't even happen when you miscast. And I totally forget about Spiteful Conjurations, which if I roll a 6 on that, could actually do it. No armor saves. You want to be hitting knights, right? So that's the end of the phase. I get really lucky over here, and the Bolt Thrower shoots and actually gets by the regen and does 3 wounds on the Chimera. And if you know about Chimeras, they only have 4 wounds in total. So he's still going to die, but I can take him out pretty easy now. Now I'm not so afraid. Bolt Thrower 2 fails to hit the Knights. Bolt Thrower 3 does a multi-shot and takes 2 wounds off the Hellstriders of Slanesh, which is pretty nice. In close combat, I do 3 wounds to the Chariot on the charge. Nurgle is a bitch. I've got Frenzy here, and ASF and all that stuff, but hitting on 5s is pretty friggin' strong. Just having Nurgle all the time on this stuff is really going to go the distance for him. And so he has Frenzy reroll back. Now he can't hit with the mounts, but he can hit with his 2 Charioteers and their double attacks, and he does. Takes out 2. He landed a couple of wounds and I armor saved, I think 2. I must have armor saved 2 and taken 2 or something like that. And he sticks. Barely. He barely makes it because I had nice combat res there. I think he needed a 4 or 5 and rolled it. 6. So let's just move over to the Warlock fight here. 6 impact hits on the Brolocks as he comes in. 6. That's okay. I can lose some, and I'm still maintain this. He wounds 5 times. Okay, I pick up 5 dice, 50-50. I fail 4 of the 5. What the hell? Come on, man. I know this is supposed to be chaos and everything, but failing 4 of 5 on the Warlocks. This is my favorite unit. This is bad. I have 1 dude left. He does 3 wounds to him. Because he's a Brolock and he's frenzied, and unfortunately he saves 2, and I just get killed by the Charioteers, and I was like, come on, he didn't even get a chance to see what these guys could do, which was very sad, but what are you gonna do? So he overruns, he's frenzied, he has to, gets right into the Witches, and he's like, yay, overran again, and nope, he'll be dead before he gets to go. Those Witches are gonna delete him, and spoilers, are gonna do that. Alright, we go to Chaos turn 2. The Crushers charge the Dark Riders. I flee and bounce through, no panics. I'm pretty close to the edge of the board, but I planned for this. I knew I would bounce through all those guys and be right near the VSB and not have to worry about it. So that's exactly what I wanted done. The Skull Crushers redirect in the Charybdis and fail the charge. They pass the leadership and fail the charge. And now you'll see him in a second. Actually, you'll see him right now. He is right where he doesn't want to be. I don't know that I can really break him right away, but I think this is the best shot I got. I got a Chariot, and I got a Charybdis right there, and I've got a Master that can come right up his butt. Hell Cannon fails his leadership test and runs forward toward the Knights. You can see that kind of on the right, and the other guys just kind of start moving up the middle. They're not being too aggressive there. The Hellstriders, oh wait, I'm sorry, they haven't moved in the middle yet. We'll get to that in the next slide. The Hellstriders charge the building, and I've got ASF and rerolls, and he just has ASF. He doesn't get his mount attacks. I might have a shot here. And his Knights charge my Shades with my Assassin. All right. This must be, this is after movement here. So we go to Magic. It's 6 dice to 5. He throws 2 dice at Toughness, Curse of the Leper, I think it's Curse of the Leper, on the Charybdis to debuff his Toughness. I stop it with 3, because I know I'm going in next turn. So yeah, I don't want him being weak. And then he throws 4 dice at Plague Wind and fails to cast. So this is the second Magic phase I've gotten really lucky and I haven't had to deal with much. So I'm very happy. In close combat, I finish off his chariot, but he does 2 to me back before I kill him with the mount, and so that sucks. I'm down to 1 dude here, and I don't have a champion, so it's just the standard bearer. And this was great. So I'm like, hey, look at me. I've got an assassin. He's like, wait, I've never seen an assassin. I had to explain kind of what they do and how it works. And I said, oh, yeah, oh, by the way, I'm eating the egg. And you know what? I looked afterwards about potions and stuff. I don't know. I think I might have cheated him on this one. I think you have to choose to use a potion or something like this at the beginning of a turn. But I've never actually used a potion like that before. So just post a comment like, it seems really restrictive that you would have to use an item like the black dragon egg at the beginning of a turn and not when you show yourself like in combat. That just seems kind of stupid and pointless. Like, is that the rule? Did I have to do that? Did I cheat him? But anyway, this is what we went with and just deal with it. So the assassin pops out. He's like, hey, I'm an assassin. I'm eating this black dragon egg. You're not going to like its effects. And he's like, well, I have to challenge. And I said, that's cool. I brought a champion in my shades. He will accept. And so we're going to go into that challenge. The assassin says, look at me, I'm ASF. He spills his breath weapon, strength 2, no armor saves, and does 4, no, he kills 1. He kills 1 with that, which is lucky. I got lucky, rolled a 6, no armor saves. 1 is dead. The assassin then swings at the rank and file, does 4 wounds from his strength 6 paired weapon attacks. He makes 2 armor saves, but he loses 2, and which is pretty nice for me. So now he's only down to, 2 knights left, and one of them's in a champion. One of them's in the challenge. My champion kills his knight in the challenge with ASF, goes first. I just got lucky. Rolled to wound with my double attacks. I have great weapons, managed to hit, so I don't have any rerolls, but wounded him. He failed his armor save. Champion's dead. And my last shade, still going before him, swings and kills the last one. He just bunked most of his armor saves there. So I'm counting that as incredibly lucky. I killed Slaneshi Knights with 1-up armor saves, and I didn't even lose. I didn't lose anything. Might have cheated with the Dragon Egg, but found that out later. So we go into the fight with the Slaneshi guys, with the Hellstriders, and I fail Fear, which is awful because with my rerolls, I would have probably killed both. I would have killed 2, and he would have only killed 1. He killed 1. I'm stubborn, but because he killed 1, I fail. I still blow up, like I just bunked the leadership roll, but I had a chance. Had I not failed Fear, I might have kicked them out. Because remember, the steeds can't go into the building. It's just, little guys with their ASF whips. Whoosh, whoosh. Yeah. So at the top of the screen, I don't have a better picture of this. The witches get hit with 5 impact hits. They all wound. I save 3 with my 5 board save from the cauldron. I end up losing 2. No problem. And I just go and kill him before he gets to go. He's just a mist of wood chunks and blood and chaos. And he's like, oh, those are witches. Yeah, ouch. And so, yeah, I think he's got a healthy respect at this point, but hopefully I can get him into combat with something meaningful. The Chimera had charged the Bolt Thrower and had killed the Bolt Thrower easily. So we got a Dark Elf turn 2. No longer Doom Elves, I'm a Dark Elf now. I haven't earned Doom Elf. That's what it is. I'm playing so poorly. So the Charybdis, I'm thinking, all right, you know what? I'm going to charge that block. I'm going to thread the needle, and I'm going to go in with both, and he's going to be steadfast, but I'm going to try to assassinate his mage, and then with the Thunderstomp and the Chariot and the Master coming in, I think I can do some fun stuff. So I declare charge, and I'm like, you know what? My backup plan, I have Terror. He has to deal with Terror, and he's probably going to pass it. I Terror him, he fails it, and he fails the reroll. And I'm like, oh, that's better than I expected. He bolts. So he doesn't go that far, and we measure it, and he's just within range that the Chariot can charge. And I'm like, both of my guys are within the General's leadership bubble. You can see her on the corner of the witches there. The Charybdis is outside of the reroll, though. So I might fail, I might bunk this up, but let's get greedy. So I say, I'm charging with the Chariot, and I push them, and they go another 9 inches. So they are right at the edge of the board, like an inch and a half away. And I was like, oh man, that would have been so sweet. Unfortunately, he's probably going to rally because he's got decent leadership, but yeah. I get lucky and I pass both my leadership tests to redirect, and I go right into the Skull Crushers because that's where I was thinking about going earlier. This is just gravy now that I scared away his caster, and everyone makes it in. The Chariot makes it in, the Charybdis makes it in, the Master goes right up the butt. Now you have to forgive me. I sold my Bretonnians, which was the last proxy I was using for a Master on a Dark Pegasus, so I'm using a filthy frickin' High Elf Knight, or High Elf girl, mamby-pamby, whatever high elves have, and it just makes me sick. It's pukish. But at least it's not painted, so you can just kind of look at the wings and guess what it is. But I will try to remedy this soon. And that's basically it for the charges. I charged a single cold one into the dogs. I'm not worried, especially because I'm going to have frenzy and hatred here and all that great stuff. And they're dogs, and I have a super armor save, so we're going to just get some points. I moved the Dark Riders back here to block as best as I can. I rallied and did the feign flight thing, but yeah, this is a mistake. Look I did it again because I'm not really used to playing with that much magical terrain, and when I am, I have a learning disability. So I moved them right next to the frenzy causing altar in the middle, so there is no more fleeing. Like I'm just gonna get pasted. Oh God, I'm so dumb. On this side, let me check my notes. Charge a single cold one of the dogs, yep. I angle the executioners to face 3 Hellstriders. Now they have devastating charge because they beat my guy. Ooh, they beat my my bolt thrower. And I move the shades to shoot at the Striders. They're going to turn around and just maybe try to polish them off. I reform... What did I do? Oh yeah, I reformed the... you can see them down there. What are they? Dark Shards. The repeater crossbows. I reformed them to face the Chimera because now they're in range and I can shoot him. And this is where I just got lazy. And I was like, yeah, we'll just move them over, reform a bit so they can all see. There was no reason I needed to be that wide. And I'm too close to like the action. Like I'm not hugging my leadership bubble or anything like that. No, I'm just being lazy. And so just make a note of how far I'm sticking out there. During Magic's 8 dice to 6. All right, Magic, let's do it. First thing I do, 1 die, a Power of Darkness. Fails to cast, but that's okay. I've got a Sacrificial Dagger. Waka! Kill a witch. Roll. I rolled a 2. Damn it. Okay, kill another witch. Whoopah! Roll. Nah, I didn't get it again. All right, kill a 3rd witch. Kill a 3rd witch, drink her blood, rub it all over me, and that works. You get an extra die. Power of Darkness goes off, and he lets it go. So I get it off. Now I'm +1 strength, and that could matter here pretty soon. And I'm rocking 9 power dice. Yeah, I think I only got 1 extra die back. 1 extra. I got the 1 and then another one. So I'm 9 to 6 now. So I really want to cast Power Word Pain. Power Word Pain from playing too much Warcraft. Word of Pain. And I've got 9 dice. So what I'm going to do is try to heal up my caster at first. Now, I forgot to roll for the first turn about like seeing if the witches would kill her, and I remember this in a minute, but it's not going to matter. You'll see here in a second. So before I cast Word of Pain, I'm going to cast Soul Stealer, and I'm going to try to get some wounds back on her. That's my plan, and the rest of the dice go to Word of Pain. I throw 3 dice at it, and every time apparently I throw 3 dice, I miscast, because I do it again. And this damn time, I go into the frickin' warp after exploding, kill 5 witches, even with their ward save, and go into the warp. God dang it. It was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Apparently, I'm just not allowed to cast good magic this time. So I don't get Word of Pain off. I lose my sorcerer and my sorceress, sorry. And I have just hurt myself. I've got a bunch of dice left, and I only have one thing that can use it, the Cauldron, and I throw them all to try to cast Super Frenzy on the cold ones, because remember, it's Extra Frenzy. Or I think it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not Extra Frenzy. Maybe that's only Witch Brew. Anyway, however it was going to work, he dispelled it. No problem. And yeah, that sucked. During so that's it for Magic. That's it for Magic for the rest of the game, actually. During shooting, the Shades actually shoot really well with their double tap crossbows and kill the Hellstriders. So that was actually some nice luck. Doesn't make up for what just happened, but furthering the bad luck, look at all those shots from those 19 crossbows all double tapping. All of them. I get 1 wound. And he armor saved it. It's flaming. I have the flaming banner in there, so he didn't get to word save. He armor saved it. So damn it. My plan wasn't that I would actually wound him and kill him, although that would have happened. I wanted to drop his regen, but you have to wound to drop regen, not just hit. So, yeah, that sucks because my bolt thrower's not going to be able to do it. So I shoot my bolt thrower at him, and he was able to just regen it, no problem. So now I got this Chimera going to charge me. This is no good. In close combat, I kill 3 of the dogs, and he flees, and I don't catch him by 1, but that's not a big deal. We're just running over here. And actually, that's good for me, because I'm chasing him over here and conserving the points. In close combat, it's weird here. Okay, so it's really weird because... So first we slam it. 4 impact hits. I land 2 of them through his armor. Okay, no problem. I got 2 wounds on one of the skull crushers. The master goes first, does 1 wound only that gets through the armor, but it multiplies to D3, so it goes up to 2 wounds. So I've killed 1, got a wounded another. Charioteer swings back at me because he has pretty high initiative. Or I'm sorry, my Charioteer lands another wound. So now the second skull crusher has 2 wounds on him. The Charybdis, and these are all with guys that don't have a lot of strength. I mean, it's like strength 6 for the master on the charge, but the Charioteers are like 5. The Charybdis, strength 7 with 5 attacks, ready? I roll them, and if I hit, this is one of these things people debate, but the way we play it, if you hit with all your attacks, just hitting at the unit, you would get D6 extra. I miss one of them, so he doesn't get his extra Feast of Bones, but my strength 7, I can't get through his armor save. They all wound, but I can't get through his armor save. The guy who should be able to get through can't do it. Ugh. So he throws through, he decides to target the chariot because he thinks he can get through that a little bit easier than the Charybdis. He throws 2 wounds back on the chariot. I armor save them. I think I armor saved the ones from his dudes up top, and I think the jugs landed 2 wounds on the chariot. All said and done, he breaks, and I run him down with the Charybdis and the chariot right off the line. I rolled and was able to successfully restrain the master because I want him not chasing them away. I didn't want those skill crushers to rally, so I wanted to go with at least 2 units, but it would have been nice to kill them outright so they all could have just turned around. But at least I've got my master ready to help. And here's a picture of the end of the turn. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I got a lot of stuff. I've got his guys fleeing. I've blown up my magic, but I've still got shooting and ASF, so I'm thinking this is pretty good. I'm wrong. I'm so damned wrong. So, Chaos turn 3. He charges the Dark Riders, and like I said before, I forget that I can't flee because of Frenzy. I actually start moving the guys, and I'm like, wait, I can't do that. Oh, shit. The Sorcerer and the Warriors rally, so no free points there, but I didn't expect that one to come through. The Chimera flies over and is going to put a Breath Template on the Dark Shards. Yeah, after I didn't kill him, I knew that was going to happen. Either that or he was going to charge him, but yeah, I probably won't panic. I got good leadership. I'm an elf. And like I said, look at how long I am. There is no reason I need to be sticking out this far because those Chosen are right there. That's not good. This is really not good for me. It's just laziness. And so I've got to start getting more comfortable playing my Dark Elves in many aspects, but this is just laziness, not wanting to move a bunch of models around. That's just being lazy, not even rusty. So we go to Magic. It's 9 dice to 6. He throws Regen on the Chosen, and for some reason I decided that's the one I wanted to stop. So I stop it, throw all my dice at it, and stop it. I have no caster, and he had a pretty big roll. Then he throws Curse of the Leper on the Chosen, and I was thinking that was only going to be a debuff in toughness, and I forgot that he can choose to increase the toughness of one of his units. And he rolls and he gets it, and it's +3 toughness. And he's just at the range where he can land this spell too, by the way, because he rallied. Very, very lucky. Oh, so now these Chosen are, rocking toughness 7? That's no good. Then he takes the last few dice and he throws his Vortex, whatever it was, the toughness test Vortex. It goes through all 3 of my guys on that flank, the Chariot, the Charybdis, and the Master, but they all pass, no problem, and the Vortex is just going to kind of fly around there and go off the board in a little bit. Get this shit. The Hell Cannon takes aim, dead center on the BSB. Well, who's riding on the Chariot, if you're not familiar? Shoots and rolls and misfires. I'm like, yes, thank God. And we usually do if you're going to miscast or it's going to be a negative effect that your opponent gets to roll. I pick the dice up to roll for his on the chart to see what the misfire is. I roll a 6. What is a 6 with a Hell Cannon? That is, treat it as if the shot didn't drift at all, hit dead center, double the strength of the entire shot, but then the Hell Cannon can't shoot for the rest of the game and just conserves its points. Son of a bitch, I'm elves, I can't take that. So it's a dead center hit. He kills... Well, how many did he kill? He killed 3 witches only, which is not that bad because he was dead center on the Chariot, thinking he might drift a bit. And so most of that template was on the Cauldron. So I roll the BSB on the Cauldron. Remember, it's a mountain a rider. She makes her 5+ ward save. So I'm like, cool, I still got a BSB. The Chariot fails his 4-up ward save. I'm like, uh-oh. And he rolls and multiplies it to 6 wounds because it's a D6 multiplier. 6 wounds is what you need to kill the damn Chariot. Blows up the Cauldron of Blood. Now there's no more ward save for the witches. There's no re-rolling all wounds. There's nothing. I just got a naked BSB standing there who still got her Witch Hag potion in her hand to give them all super frenzy, but you gotta be kidding me. That's a misfire? you go right to hell. Like, I was so livid. I mean, not really livid, but in-game laughing and livid. Oh, God. Like, what the frickin' frack? So I lose 4 archers to the breath weapon. That's not a problem. That doesn't even trigger a panic test. But the Chosen destroy the Dark Riders. But and look where they are. They're actually a healthy distance away. But he rolls like a champ and gets into their flank. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. But this is not okay. This is the doom of me. He has to overrun here, and he gets into them. This is bad. This is just sloppy, and he's super, super... I didn't have to have these guys in. Like I said, I should have changed the formation, and he's super buffed up. This is bad. I can feel everything slipping right now. So we had a Dark Elves turn 3. I do not want to charge... So, this is a picture at the end of my turn. I guess I really have like 1 or 2 pictures for this. That's why they're... Oh, no, never mind. You just can't see the Dark Shards down there. So it's Dark Elf turn 3. Let's restart. I don't want to charge the Witches into his toughness 7 Chosen, even in the flank. I could do a decent amount of wounds, but I probably won't disrupt him, and I think he'd still be steadfast no matter what. So I'm just going to lose, and I don't have a backup plan there ready to go. That's not a good thing. So I'm thinking I'll just leave the Witches here. So I'm also facing if the Hell Cannon charges me, he's got to charge me in the front. He's going to reform and charge me. But then I've got my... Executioners ready to back up. Those Witches are going to go first, and they are going to make a mess of those guys. They're not going to win, but they're going to chop them up, and then the Executioners can come back in. That's what I'm banking on. I moved the Shades up because I'm not getting in the combo with anyone else, especially at that Hell Cannon, and, you know, only... they'll shoot, but that Assassin's not going to kill no Hell Cannon, no way. So, they're just moving up to be a little bit of a pest, and I'll flee if I have to. Because he can't shoot, I don't think he has to make a leadership test anymore. So he's not random movement anymore. He's actually charging. So I would get a charge reaction, as I understand it. So you can see on over here, my Chariot, my Charybdis, and my Master are racing up to help. But they hopefully we can time this and we can just kind of sandwich these guys, and the debuff will fall off by the time we have to do that. Or the toughness buff. That's what I'm hoping. So yeah, I guess that's the last picture I actually have. So he beats me in combat with Dark Shards. Doesn't kill them all, but I flee off the board. I actually rolled pretty high. I almost didn't go off the board, but I had a good shot of staying on the board, but I sadly rolled too much and they go off the board. No big deal. And that's it. This is the end of turn. Yeah, that's it for basically my turn. We go to Chaos turn 4. The Chosen charge the Witches. So here's a picture of what the board looks like. You can see we're kind of spread out, but we're coming together on these Chosen. And I'm even thinking here I can probably do this. But it all depends on magic. So he charges the Witches, and he's going in. He also declares a charge with the Hell Cannon. And yeah, I'm thinking, oh, that might not work. The Hell Cannon actually is standing right by the Idol of Gork. So he fails the charge, but rerolls it, still fails. But it was pretty fun. He was off by 1. That Hell Cannon could have gone in there too, which would have just been terrible. I'm in with the Chosen. I'm not too worried because he's still got to cast the spell, and we'll see what happens there. Hopefully he can't get toughness off again. And here's just a nice picture of, let's see what it looks like. Sorry, let me back up. Nope, it's not moving. So yeah, he's in with the Witches, and everyone's coming in, and I'm thinking, I can do this. Like I said, soften them up, Executioners come in, I don't have to worry about the Hell Cannon, and if I really am, I'll just charge the Shades in. And that's when I think, oh, wait a minute. That is not just a Frenzy Tower. That, my friends, is a Frenzy plus Hatred Tower. I have Frenzy and Hatred already. He doesn't. He has Chosen. You give those assholes Frenzy and Hatred with their +1 initiative already? I'm in big, big trouble. So, let's ignore that for a second. Over on this flank, yeah, they can't help out too much. I think he actually fails the charge here, and I don't know if I fled or what happened. He might have just failed the charge. Nothing really happens in Magic this time. Oh, with one exception. It's 5 dice to 3, and he throws all of his dice at the plus toughness spell. Gets it, and gets right back up to 3 toughness. God damn it. It's like I need a break. Thankfully, he miscast, and he rolls a 10 and forgets 3 levels, including the toughness spell. But guess what? It's not a remains of play spell, so it's still up. And I am probably not going to be around by the time this spell ends. So we go to close combat. Yeah, it's just terrible. So he has to challenge. I lose my champion +2 overkill in the challenge. I do 7 wounds to him, just all basically from poison. He armor saves 2 of them and loses 5. That's actually not that bad for guys at toughness 7. And 5 at toughness 7 shows that I would have done way better had he not been toughness 7. I probably would have. I mean, witches on chosen like that. I don't know. Even with those numbers, I mean, he might not have killed me all, but yeah, I don't think there would have been a lot of chosen left normally. Anyway, because he's frenzied and has hatred now thanks to that awful tower, he does 21 hits to me and lands 17 wounds. So 17 wounds plus the 3 he did in the challenge. Yeah, I had fewer than that there. And he overruns and gets into my executioners, frenzied and hatred. And I'm like, oh god, this is going to be bloody. But I've got more numbers, and he's not going to get his decent armor save because I can swing, and I actually have hatred because I'm standing right by the frenzied tower. This is actually going to go well in my favor. Oh, but wait a minute, what did the chosen get at the beginning of the game? Oh yeah, +1 initiative. He's actually faster than my executioners right now. And I'm not going to draw out the suspense here. We're going to fight this on my turn. I fail a charge with the Master into their rear, and that might have been good for the Master, but it's bad for me. We go into close combat, and he kills me to a man before I get to go. With his +1 initiative, like, he actually literally kills all 19 I had, from Frenzied and Hatred, all of them, with his halberds. Just dead. That wasn't that many points, but that was my thing that was going to save me here. And so at this point, if you look at the board, I mean, the executioners are dead. I've got a decent amount of guys running around still holding points, and we're like, you know what? Let's call it. But let's call what would happen. He would turn on his turn, and I cannot avoid. Like, I cannot even moving and getting up and moving the repeater bolt thrower. I can't. Like, I just gave it to him. I can't get out of the way. You're going to charge and kill him. So we gave him those points. The rest of it we talked out. I was going to be able to do the avoidance game, and even with toughness tests, he wasn't going to be able to do anything magic-wise and being so far out of the range. So we called it, and at the end of the game, it was 2,200 points, thereabouts, to Chaos, and only 1,300 points for me. So, game 2 with my Dark Elves, game 1 for a lot of these units, sadly, was a complete spanking. But as some notes for the game, I actually think I did pretty well in some areas, and obviously the big things that I just was not paying attention to and not thinking about was the terrain. But in terms of luck, I actually got pretty lucky on the Chaos and Warriors fight. Yeah, I had an assassin help me out, and I was planning for that, but I still think he got pretty lucky. I got really unlucky with magic, and I was willing to chance anything to get that magic to go. Like, I wanted to try dark magic instead of shadow. Shadow might have been even better, but like, I put her in with the witches, which was a risk. And on top of that, I had given her the sacrificial dagger so I could really pay to get those spells off. And just losing the Brolocks right away, and on turn 2 losing my caster, just to the second time I miscast on a 3-die spell, like, that's just bad luck. Sometimes it's just not going to work. And I think my Chaos player here beat me, my Chaos opponent beat me just from some sheer luck at the end. I think that those witches, had he not been frenzied in hatred, would have just made a mess of those executioners, and then of those chosen, then my executioners would have mopped them up. Or if I had gotten into his rear a little earlier, not overrun. There. Oh wait, no, the Master did everything he could. I was thinking he overran. Yeah, I think I would have just sacrificed the Master at that last turn if he charged into the rear of the chosen. I don't think anything good could have come of that. But yeah, that's the game. I really like the Dark Elves. It seems like I didn't play very well and kind of got spanked here, but the few times I was able to do things like flee and kind of rely on good leadership from random troops was really fun. And it's kind of cool to play a game of elite guys who have a glaring weakness. I bitch about Chaos a lot, but they're an elite army and they're expensive, but how are they so frickin' fast? How are you a beefcake from the northern wastes and you're as fast as an elf in many areas? I just don't understand. But I think Chaos is going to be, Warriors are going to be a hard fight for the Dark Elves, because, especially if you want to run a list like I am, where you're not doing a Cav Bus or Avoidancy or MSU stuff, you know, like, you're going to swing first in many instances, but sometimes you just aren't going to get the rerolls, and sometimes, I mean, he's just going to punk you pretty good. So I think Chaos is a tough fight for the Dark Elves. I'm still loving him. I'm still going to keep painting him up. If you guys are... I think there's a link to this in my actual page on my YouTube, like, main channel page, but I've got a thread over on the Vampire Counts forums is my painting log. So the nights that I am making at least a bit of progress on base painting and stuff, I'm putting up pictures there. They're not the best, but I'll try to move models outside and use natural daylight to get pictures of them once I get them to a complete stage. But it's kind of fun. Hop on there if you want to say something. Always leave a comment if you want to yak. And let me know what I did wrong. Don't be too harsh. It's only my second game with the Dark Elves, and I feel like I really know how I screwed up already. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.